Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special Halloween night presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Lamar Jackson and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Dallas Cowboys.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They, too, come in off the bye, so we should have two teams that are eager to get back at it.
And players are creatures of habit. You can bet they enjoyed the time off, but you know they're also ready to get right back into the swing of things.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led by the second-year man from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So Tua making the completion there. What's different about playing a left-handed quarterback like him? And specifically, I guess, what does this defense need to try and take away?
I'll take the first part that you asked about being left-handed. We've got to find out if he can move to his right and still continue to be accurate. So I want to push him in that direction and see if he can get his body squared around and make those throws that he's used to making. The next part is he's a dart thrower. Love those short to intermediate routes first. Sit on those and make him throw the deep ball. Not that he's not capable, but you want him to prove it to you first.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. To a hit, and the ball is out. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Tua going to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And this will be taken at the 13. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They're led out by the NFL's MVP from 2019, now in his 4th season out of Louisville, Lamar Jackson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Jackson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning. Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
Tua now on first down. Got a man. It's the rookie Jalen Waddle. And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Not much there, only a yard. Now it's 2nd and 9. Looking to pass. Tua. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa looking middle, and it's incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Here's Tua. And that is incomplete. And pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss, as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Jackson. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From just shy of midfield, Tua. This one goes out wide for Barkley. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Tua. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From midfield now, here's Jackson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Chase Young in there to bury him for a loss of 11. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw here. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Fights through him. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And he'll give it here to his running back. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Chase Young able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He'll look to throw. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. The quick feet by Jackson. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Throwing is Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dallas offense set for this next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Second down, here's Barkley again.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A handoff to Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. The Vikings send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Back to the air on 2nd down, Tagovailoa. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, Barkley. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Dancing away at the 35. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson will get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. From there, we head east to check out the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Josh Palmer, a touchdown catch in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the Giants and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Kickoff, 8:15 Eastern Time. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, putting some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
from the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. From the gun, Jackson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? We'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. Now it's Tua. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he is out of bounds, but not before. He's inside the 30. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Second and 11 now. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Underneath for Miller. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they snap him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's a run now with Kittle. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first down carry now for Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 11. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Tua going to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Miller, and he stopped immediately there. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. They'll run it again with Miller. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Touchdown, Cowboys! Mike Gesicki, his third touchdown now on the year.
And the Cowboys are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Well, we lasted all the way to the fourth quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
The two are going to try and throw for it.
Able to shake him off. Oh, he stays up. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Jackson's throw pulled in by Kittle.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They go play action now. Jackson. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw there complete to Allen.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, it's Jackson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson.
He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Vikings on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. A bullet throw, but incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them. is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Looking to pass, Tua. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down in bounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Jackson now. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw is Jackson. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And now here come the Cowboys. They can thank their defense for another stop, and now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock, work it down, and, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Tua. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who's going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are looking like they'll move to 6-1 as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
No luck going for 2 last time, so they'll just kick the extra point here. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. For the football going back to the Vikings offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10, Jackson.
And he will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Rolling to his right.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Play action. Now Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter.
On 1st down, Thomas. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Thomas. And he's got room. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the Cowboys, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.